Hello children. Well, today I'm going to read a story to you that's inspired by a girl called Greta Thunberg, who, when she was 15, found out about climate change and about the need for humans to look after planet Earth. She decided to launch a protest against the Swedish government, who she said should be doing something about looking after the environment. In fact, her protest was so successful that she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. This story that I'm about to read to you is sort of based on her protest. So here we go. It's called Greta and the Giants, and it's written by Zoe Tucker and Zoe Persico. There was once a girl who lived at the heart of a beautiful forest. Her name was Greta. I think there she is, look, looking after the animals in the forest. She's very kind. One morning, things weren't quite as they should be. Greta stepped out into the garden, and there, huddled together in the shadows of the trees, were the animals of the forest. A soft, silvery brown wolf stepped forward with his tail low to the ground. "Please help us," he whispered. "The forest is broken and we don't know where to go. The giants are ruining our home." That wolf is so big that he's even taller than Greta. She's not frightened of him. The giants had always been there for as long as Greta could remember, but now they were worse than ever. They were huge, lumbering oafs, and they were always busy. They chopped down trees to build homes. Then they chopped down more trees and built bigger homes. The houses grew into towns, and the towns grew into cities. They built factories and shops and cars and planes. They worked all day and all night. There's the building homes and even bigger homes, and right at the bottom, building cities. And there's a picture of the giants. Eventually, there were hardly any forests left. But the greedy giants had forgotten how wonderful the forest was. They didn't see all the little birds and bugs and butterflies and bears that trembled in the shadows. And no one told them to stop because everyone was scared of them. Those poor animals. I know that they're a bit scared because the word that the author uses is trembled. So I know that they're sitting in the shadows in the forest, shaking with fear. Everyone was scared of them, except Greta. "Will you help us?" asked the wolf. Greta looked around her. The animals looked tired and sad. She had to help them, but how? Then Greta had an idea. The next morning, Greta went to the middle of the forest and waited for the giants to come. She stood alone holding a big sign. The sign said, "Stop." She waited and waited. On the first day, the giants didn't see her and they lumbered on by. And on the second and the third day too. But on the fourth day, something strange happened. A little boy who had been watching Greta made a sign and came out and sat down next to her. He didn't say much, but Greta knew he felt like she did. There's his sign, look. She's written stop and he has written listen. Soon, more people and animals saw what was going on and they joined in too. Now if I read some of the signs that these people have written, we've got stop, save our forest, action now, that's over here, help, and the animals have even got posters there that say, we live here. Lots of people don't want that forest destroyed. Before long, a huge crowd filled the forest, stretching out to the city and the roads beyond. They stood together and waited. The crowd was so huge that the giants were stopped in their tracks. Please stop, Greta cried. Your greedy behaviour is spoiling our home. You've broken the trees and trampled the flowers, and now the bees and birds have even flown away. These animals are homeless and our forest is dying. After Greta had spoken, everything was silent. But then everyone in the crowd began to shout, Save our home! The smoke from your fires is choking the air. And stop cutting the trees! You can help to plant new trees. We need action now. Mend my home. We need change. Gosh, it must have been noisy. They are determined that those giants are going to hear. And here are the giants, huddled together in the corner. I wonder how they're feeling now. Let's find out. We need to take care of our forest and live together. Will you please try? Said the people in the crowd. The giants shuffled and fidgeted and stomped their feet on the ground. They were embarrassed and a little bit sad. You see, the giants were so busy building, they didn't see what they were doing to the forest or the animals who lived there. The giants felt terrible. We're sorry, they said, and they promised to try harder. There they are, all embarrassed, fidgeting. What else did I say? They shuffled, they fidgeted, and they stamped their feet on the ground because they were so embarrassed. Okay, so they're going to try harder. So from that day on, the greedy giants weren't so greedy. They slowed down and they learnt to sit quietly. They stopped working all the time and instead took up new hobbies. They stopped chopping down trees and learnt all about gardening and living in the forest. They cooked, repaired, tidied and shared. Oh, that's nice to hear. That they have mended their ways and now they're even sharing. Fantastic. I think that they're looking after the forest now. And before long, the forest became more beautiful than they could ever have imagined. I think the wolf here is looking a lot happier too. And that's the end of the story. It looks like it was a really happy ending. I actually think that those giants are supposed to represent people like me, like mums and dads, like grown-ups in society. I hope you enjoyed that story. I look forward to reading the next one.